name is Wes Rodriguez.
And I'm Marin.
And this is Sink or Swim with Wes and M. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing all right. How you doing, Marin?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Up to par. Actually went outside yesterday, got some fresh air. Well, I've been getting a little fresh air here and there, but for the most part, I'm doing what's expected of me, and the cabin fever's starting to fade off. So yeah, I'm getting used to it. I got like another 4 weeks where I'm really under this quarantine thing, you know what I mean? So just getting used to it, watching a lot of fucking TV and eating a lot of fucking zingers. Not that I'm promoting zingers. But they're fucking delicious. And they have them on sale right now, so I'm just like fucking bugging.
Awesome.
I'm just bugging out on this fucking right now, dude.
Well, we're recording again at Marin's place, his little apartment over here in Fontana. And in-house today is his friend Romeo.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah. So I guess we're going to talk about a little bit. I've been riding my bike to work since about like 2 weeks ago. I started doing that. It's paying off.
Are people still asking you what's wrong with your car?
No, not very many people talk to me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I got a kick out of telling my mom that, though. I eliminated the fact that I knew as soon as I mentioned the fact, yeah, I've been riding my bike for the last 2 weeks. And before you asked, my car is fine. And she got a big kick out of that. It's like, oh, you know your mother. But something interesting happened to me the other day. It's happened once before in my life, but this scenario threw me. I'm on my way to work, and I'm wearing my bicycle gloves, and you know, I got my work tennis shoes on that are all beat up and ugly looking. I'm wearing my work badge around my neck. I'm at the very last leg of my ride, and I'm about 2 blocks from work, and I'm right near the 10 freeway.
You're riding like what, 26 miles?
It's about 25 miles a day, 12 and a half.
Up and back.
To work.
Okay.
At the intersection of Milliken and the 10 is really heavy traffic for freight. A lot of semis driving through there, and it's like triple wide. It's one of those huge boulevards.
A lot of chances for death to occur.
Well, not really, because it's really slow and there's a train track there. So you got to get by before that happens, because you literally could be waiting like 10 minutes for everything just to clear. Anyways, I have my earbuds in and I'm listening to talk. Over the voice that I'm hearing in my ears, I'm hearing someone yell at me, and I'm looking around like, you know,
and it's not the
do I need to pay attention to what's going on around me? So I look around and I don't see anybody. I'm like, whatever, and I hear a lot of crap while I'm riding, and I usually tune out. But for some reason, this caught my attention, so I did a double take, make sure I'm cool. I'm literally sitting at the crosswalk, just waiting, minding my own business, and I'm leaning off my bike, kinda. I'm still underneath it, or it's still underneath me. The semi is taking extra long, making a left turn from in front of me, and I looked, and that caught my attention. And then I realized the voice was coming from the rig. The driver was leaning outside this window. This big, hulking black dude is leaning out, yelling at me, and I'm like, what? So I pull my earbuds out, like, what the hell's going on? Because traffic's watching him, and the people behind him, are focused on him, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell this dude wants, and he's yelling at me, do you work today? Are you at work? And I'm like, I look down at my badge, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, look, it kind of looks like I'm on my way to work. It doesn't look like I'm just riding my bike. I don't have like a biker outfit, that thing's spandex with all the colors and shit. I'm like, well, yeah.
Not your traditional biking garb.
I mean, I don't yell at him, but I'm like, kind of nod my head, like, yeah. And he repeats himself, like, are you working this morning? And I'm like, when the thought fucking ran through my head, like, is this dude propositioning me? Like, is this one of those, like, lot lizard scenarios where the truck driver, the long haul, is
Are you a whore?
Looking for some fucking, road relief? I'm like, what the fuck?
I got a bike rack in the trunk.
And I'm thinking, I'm on my bike, and I talked about this at work, and they're like, well, they're probably looking for some extra hands to unload the truck. And I'm like, yeah, but Not on a bicycle. You know, standing next to the side of the road with 4 other guys competing for the fucking work. You
Desperate.
know?
Desperate,
I'm like,
man.
Whatever. So I was really confused. But the first thought that ran through my head was after that.
Were you flattered, though?
I was actually flattered. Of course I was flattered. I'm thinking, you know, if I was trolling for a prostitute, if I was trolling for a prostitute, I'd be looking for the most attractive prostitute I could get my hands on. Well, all right.
Unfortunately, they came across Wes.
Maybe that's how he rolls, and I'm a high item in that dude's mind. Like, I'm cool with that. All right. And he pulled over like half a block away. I'm like, I'm going this way, man, and I'm going to work. Like I said to you, yeah, I work today.
You can walk, but don't touch.
That happened once before, but there was no mistaking that this dude wanted me to have sex with him. I was skateboarding and I was covered in sweat. And back in the day when I used to ride my skateboard around, I used to take the bus, I would tuck my shirt into my belt loop.
Yeah.
And I was a lot thinner than I am now. My body looked a lot tighter.
Right.
And so I was in like what Marin would call it Van Nuys area.
Anywhere out of Fontana is Van Nuys.
So I'm near a bus stop and I'm all sweaty and I'm just leaning against a pole and the dude pulls up right to the curb right in front of me and asks me the same thing. You know, hey, are you working right now? Fucking, I had a fucking Snapple bottle and I was a young kid back then and,
right.
and I immediately wanted to just fucking I just reached back like I was gonna crush the bottle.
How dare you proposition me? Got any drugs?
I wasn't so comfortable with myself that I felt flattered at that point. I was highly offended and I wanted to cause physical harm and damage to that person. But anyway, that's my little story for this week.
That's funny.
Yeah, a lot of people got a kick out of that. But
do you feel the difference in your whole physical aspect of it? You know, do you feel
my cardio is
do you feel healthier? Do you feel better? Like when you go to work, do you feel more pumped? Do you feel, you know,
in the sense of,
or do you like?
I don't feel tired,
right?
But I really don't push myself that hard at work anymore. I just go there and I just try to stay busy.
Do the minimum requirements.
I try to stay off the radar. I'm not doing the minimum and I'm not doing the maximum.
Right.
I'm right in the middle. I just want to skate by without being noticed. That's my trick. I used to overwork myself and I'd get so frustrated because my ego was getting involved. Like, why am I not getting, credit for how much I'm busting my ass? I'm covered in sweat. Right. I'm trying to cover the work that these guys are slacking off.
That's narcissism, though.
Well, of course. And then I learned what a program is, and I realized I need to check myself a lot more. Right. So I just calmed down a bit, and I'm like, you know what? You can't affect what other people are gonna think, and the more you go out of your way trying to make an impression, the more you're probably gonna piss people off. Right. So I just.
Well, and it depends on your career too, you know, on what you're doing. Like Romeo, you're a barber, right? Yep. And so you're when you're there in the shop, is there a physical aspect to it? I mean, is there a stamina to it? I mean, do you know what I mean? Or do at like some point during the day you're just like, fucking, I don't want to fucking be here? Or
well, no, my situation is more like, if you guys ever hung out in a hood, that's basically how I could describe it. I mean, people come in and
is it like in the movies?
Like the barbershop movie?
Yeah, like the movie?
Yeah.
The movie.
Like the movie barbershop?
Okay.
Yeah, it's similar to that. I mean, you know, you go hang out with the boys at the shop. That's what it is. It's like the little hood. And then people come in, you know, like when you're at a hood, you know, people walking by and watching you on the block. Hey, how's it going? Blah, blah. They come, they say hi.
Describe it's almost like a men's club.
Yeah.
Correct?
Well, nah, because you don't have to be special to get in. You just walk in off the street.
You mean you don't need a vagina?
No, it's more
the vaginas are welcome.
Yeah, of course they are.
The point I'm trying to make is a barbershop is a bunch of regulars coming there.
Yep.
And most of the time, women are going to be in there. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's similar to a men's club.
They get to bullshit. They get to kind of hang loose and like be in a man cave, for instance.
Well, let's reel it back a little bit. Let's back up 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's back up 5 years. how did you get into the whole barber industry? I mean, what drove you to do that?
No, I was basically a salesman, and I was selling $1,000 moves and things of that nature. I've always been a salesman. And
$1,000 what?
Like $1,000 moves. Like basically, I was moving people. It was called, the company was called Grable, and I'd be like at, you know, the richest parts out there in like San Diego. I'd go in, I'd give these people like an estimate on all their stuff to move it from like here to Texas to Utah to Idaho, whatever. So you know, like a move for them would be like $40,000-$50,000.
Okay.
Which to me, just get rid of this shit and you buy it wherever you're moving to, you know. But these people were weird about their
stuff.
You
got a photo album? Yeah, take it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need.
Have a fucking yard sale.
40,000-50,000. Come on, all this shit's not even worth 40,000-50,000. Right. But anyways, that's what I would do. And then the economy took a dump, and then my aunt came over, and I was looking for a job for like 3 months, and I wasn't able to find one. And she said, why don't you get into cutting hair? So I was like, all right, I'll go try it out. So for 1 year, I stood inside some place trying to learn how to cut hair or whatever. I was going to actually be a stylist, so like for women's haircuts and all that.
Oh, okay.
And then I ended up working at a barber shop, and then ever since then, I've just been doing barber work for like the last 4 years. It's been very, very well for me, though. As bad as the economy is, and as bad as, you know, we are now.
People are vain.
2 years, exactly.
Well, everybody needs a haircut.
Everyone needs a haircut, and if you know what you're doing, I mean, we're charging like $15 to $20 a haircut where I work at.
And there's a small percentage of people that will do it themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the competition for business today.
Unless you know a good barber.
I'm gonna do it myself.
But see how easy it is. How easy is it right now for you just to take a one clip and bald your head?
That's what I do.
Yeah,
but I'm not like everybody else, right? Well, $50 invested like 7 years ago. I haven't spent any money since.
There you go. So that's the idea behind our economy right now. But let's say you do like your hair and you wanted a certain style and stuff like that, then you come to me. And the difference between me and another barber is that I know how to cut hair. So like a lot of times they'll go with me once and then they'll go to another shop and then they'll come back and I'll have to fix their hair. That's the difference between me and another barber.
Right.
So, you know, I'm basically like an artist with hair.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My story, I like the version that I give because you had told me about about your aunt doing it, but 2000.
Oh, that's right.
2007, he calls me and he says, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go out here to get my taxes done. You want to go with me? You want to go with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, fucking nine, whatever. Let's go." So we go out here to Pomona to a longtime friend of his who's doing taxes and stuff, right? And there's like a 6-hour wait to go in, right? So he says, "You know what? Let's go ahead and check the city out." And I says, "All right, let's go." So we start walking around. You know, we walk across the street, and it's the Pomona Mall or some shit, right? Mm-hmm. And we're in the Pomona Mall walking around. He sees this chick, right? So we're just like following behind her, checking her out and shit, right? So then
stalking.
Yeah, yeah. So then he says,
"I get it."
He goes, "Fuck it, I'm going for it, man." So I go, "All right." So we walk up to her.
Permission to buzz the tower.
Yeah, so we start. We were actually it's a mall, but it's one half is the mall, and then the other half was, we later learned, that had been converted into a school, a teaching building or whatnot. You know, different classes and stuff. So we're walking through, and he walks up there and he says, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Romeo," and he throws his little game, right? And turns out to become a beautician or a cosmetologist or some shit, right? So he says, "You know what? Since I'm here, man, let me go check this out." So it's funny how things work.
As you do when in that situation with a woman.
Right. So and here we are, like 4.5 years later, and he's got his license. He's got, and I used to go with.
So the moral of the story is follow your penis.
Yeah, follow your penis.
Always.
But that was. It is funny because I look back on that now, and it's just that little. Who knows if you would ever been where you are now? You know what I mean? It was just that little spur of the moment fluke.
Waiting for my taxes
thing that happened. So he goes in there, he gets the information. And then, like 2 weeks later, we're just catching up with each other because we catch each other maybe once a week, every couple of weeks. We just kind of touch base with each other, because we used to hang out like all the time. And then we had even said, you know what? There's going to come a time, man, where we're like, right now we're both just starting our lives off. I said, there's going to come a time where